dude. This girl's actually into me. She's like fucking sending me all these heart faces. See you in a bit. Nice. That's the no effort pool is what I call that one.
I love it. Bro, but that's what I'm saying. It's like how it is here.
It's called just get tattoos. I call it the map pool. You do nothing, dude. You just get tattoos.
Yo, are we rolling, by the way?
We're definitely rolling.
All right.
Coming from Cali, Colombia.
Ladies, gentlemen, and others.
Can you please get off the phone? You always fucking do this, bro.
I'm tagging the story, bro. What the fuck?
Dude, we're rolling.
Okay, so fuck. I was gonna tag you though. What?
Last podcast, we had one of our assistants to grab his phone.
Yeah.
Because he has such bad ADHD.
Bitches on the way in a fucking Uber.
Dude, you're not allowed to like use your phone during the podcast.
Okay, I'm turning off. Okay. All right.
You got to do the intro, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wingman Podcast. We have a very special guest today, but before we jump in, let me introduce myself. I'm Justin Marc. If you haven't seen our podcast yet, it's the Wingman Podcast. We teach dating and lifestyle. We don't really teach, we just talk about dating and lifestyle. We got Matt Levine, my amazing, beautiful blonde co-host here. How's it going, Matt?
What's up?
And we have a very, very special guest. We have Luis Mercado, very good friend of mine. It's like an older brother to me from the show To Catch a Cheater and the new YouTube channel, Life Lessons with Luis. Luis, your second YouTube channel just hit 1 million subscribers, right?
Yep. Plaque arrived yesterday.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. Damn, dude. How many total followers do you have?
4.2 million on YouTube. Well, 4.3 million. I forgot I have my other one, the real Luis Mercado one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so 3 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. So you got like 3 YouTube plaques. You got like 5 YouTube plaques now.
A lot of plaques, man.
That's crazy. Damn, dude. How do you think that's affected your dating life?
Not like, it just added more volume, I would say.
More volume,
and then it's made some things easier. But like, I try not to give too much credit to that because I do think I'm the shit regardless. So, you know.
So a lot of guys don't know this because you have a very successful social media career, but you've been doing studying like seduction skills and pickup artist shit and sales and all that stuff for a long time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say a long time. I saw VH1's The Pickup Artist back when that came out. I was in college. And I was like, nah, this is bullshit. But then I watched it and I'm like, I just took little things they would say on the show and I use it in real life. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It makes sense why I just understood the psychology and the philosophy behind it. But then I got into sales. So I kind of would see and witness everything every single day. And then when I got into body language, I think that just completely changed. For me, that's been the biggest thing for dating. Because once I learned body, it's like, it's like I'm hearing what they're saying without them saying it now. So I know whether to push or pull back or what to do to progress or how to create escalation. I just understand it at a very deep level now.
Cool.
Yeah.
How do you think so most people don't know what your dating life has been like, but you've had a lot of success with women. Is that correct?
So they say.
I mean, are we allowed to share that? Are we allowed to talk about that? I don't know who could be watching, right?
I mean, they know, man. It's been good.
It's been fucking really good. Like, if I give you guys my honest opinion, I went to all over the world with fucking Luis. I went to Barcelona to pick up girls with them. I went to Ethiopia to pick up girls with you a couple years ago, almost 3 years ago. We went to South Africa, LA, Toronto, and we're here in fucking Colombia, in Cali, Colombia. Brought our whole podcast studio out just to shoot this with you. And the crazy thing, Luis, is, most people don't realize how much success you can get with dating if you learn game and if you learn another aspect to that. So for example, I learned how to pick up girls. And then I also learned how to master club promoting. So I brought those 2 things together. It made me a beast at club promoting. It also made me even more of a beast with girls, right? So I think with you, it's like you kind of learn game naturally. Like you lost your virginity like 20 years ago. And you were like, you told me stories of you back in the day, back in Palm Springs, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were like going to the mall picking up girls. Like you were kind of a natural. And then you started learning it later.
Yeah, it wasn't even a natural, but I was 14 years old and we'd go to the mall and we would just be at a distance and just like wave hi to girls and see if they'd wave back. And then we'd like try to talk to them like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so, 20 years later, you're a successful YouTuber. Am I allowed to say that? Like how like you're rich as fuck and shit? Like, can I say that? Like you're successful. You're a fucking millionaire. You're killing the real estate game. You're killing fucking everything, right? And on top of that, you got game. Do you find it like very, very easy now, or is it like kind of the same as before?
I find it boring. I find it more boring.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Like I was asking you.
I'm kind of on the same page. Like me and Luis went to the gym this morning and we're going on a walk, and it's like, bro, like I arrived at the club last night super late after getting tattoos, and I wanted to leave. It was so boring, like talking to girls, unless we obviously find a smoke show, you know.
No, I had fun though. I had fun just like running around, practice Spanish.
And I do too. I have fun just going, even just when you're approaching and creating conversation and like that, you're creating that dynamic of fun space for everyone. You're really good at this, Justin. Like you're still next level on this stuff. And like even that girl that I was sitting next to yesterday, I forget her name, but we were talking to her and everyone's like, oh, where's she at? I'm like, I could care less. Like I don't know. It doesn't entertain me as much these days.
So back in the day, you were just slaying to pussy, bagging, tagging them, but you don't care as much, right? You don't care as much now. Now, what? So my question for you is, like, how do you think getting like a large social media following affected your dating life, your sex life?
It's like marketing, man. It's like if there's a niche, if out of every 100 girls, 5% of them find you naturally attractive. Well, now, To Catch a Cheater alone did 1 billion views. So that 5% that would find me attractive if they met me in real life is now seeing me on a platform. And then they find me because they're watching you. They feel like they know you. You're funny. You're cocky. They can see what your personality's like. They see other girls around you. So all those like little sub-communication things that say he's a high value guy or these are the kind of guys you want. He's a bad boy. He's a badass or whatever. Then they find you via Instagram and then it's like fishing with dynamite. It's not even fair.
100%. Justin, we have this, in walking around in Toronto, we would have like random girls like come up to us saying they've seen our podcast. And we've never met them before.
We just started though. That's the crazy thing. I went to the club not too long ago.
We just started.
And we just started a few months ago. And a girl comes up to me. She's like, can I take a selfie with you? One of my best friends is a huge fan of your podcast. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's awesome. Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. And now, don't get me wrong, I've had girls come up to me because they saw Cody Co roast me, or some of them have seen my YouTube videos, or back in the day, like Leafy's here made a video roasting me. So like I've had this happen before, and I've even gotten girls from it, but not that much. But it's like when you build your own audience and with that scale, because you're really good at viral videos, like you're really good at viral videos, viral content, business, making money, right? So it's like, I feel like to any girl that's like, holy fuck, those are all naturally attractive traits in a man, because it's like, charismatic and cool, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so on top of that, game, on top of that, you have the scalability. It's just like infinite abundance, essentially.
Yeah.
It's a perfect setup.
Yeah.
Your dating life.
It's creating like a funnel. It's creating a funnel of just.
Dude, what were we talking about right before we started shooting? We're talking about something like really fucking funny. We're laughing our asses off.
It was something similar to this, wasn't it?
I think I was asking about how you balance work and sex. Because like, here's the thing, man. I have months where I'll just make I will make an annual salary, like the average annual American salary in a month. Okay. But I don't get like I'll fuck like 2 girls, or I'll just like fuck my main girls, or the girls on my rotation or whatever, or like one of the girls in like my little harem that I've built. Because I've been building like a sex cult harem kind of thing. Right. It's very, so it's like bi girls only. The reason we're like bi girls only is because I only want to have bi girls around me who are down for like orgies with girls. Right. And so last weekend I fucked 6 girls in 24 hours. Well, 5 girls and 1 girl sucked my dick, right? And it's because they're all bi, they're all like open, right? So, but the thing is, in the past like 3 weeks, I haven't made any money. I haven't made any fucking money at all whatsoever. And I'm just like, how do you do it? Like, cause I know, dude, you've sent me videos of you with like 5 girls naked in your room. Now, I remember those fucking videos, right? And there was a certain, man, it's so funny. There's a time where me and Luis would always just send each other videos back and forth of us just fucking bitches. Like I'm in like fucking Toronto, I'm like banging these girls. I'm like, yo, Luis, say hi. This girl's a fan of your show. I'm just like fucking this girl. And then he'll like send me videos back of him having like a threesome. And it was always so funny. And so, like, how do you balance? Like, cause you're a workaholic, you grind, you make money. Like, how do you balance it?
I don't really think there is a balance. I think you just pick what matters to you most and you go do that. And then if I have free time, I'll go do something else. But for the most part, it's like I have a very obsessive mentality when it comes to something. So like when I decide I'm going to get back in shape, because I'm not in shape now. And like, even though I may look like it, I know what I was like when I was in shape. And I just know what it takes. And that's working out 2-3 times a day. But I love it, or if I'm thinking about this, right now I'm on the path of just creating finances for myself, like for my family, for my future kids. But once I get to like a certain number, which it never really ends, but I do have a number in mind. And once I hit that mark, I'm so down to just go back into the fitness world that I was in, where I was just in shape, working out, constantly socializing, going out, like making that another part of my life now. But right now I just work, dude.
I have kind of the same mindset as well. Cause it's like, so what I do personally, this is what I do. I'll do 6 weeks of like immersion with like just picking up girls, dicking around, travel, parties, like having fun. Then I'll do 2 to 3 weeks at a time of like sales, marketing, and business stuff. So each year I'm probably only working like 3-4 months maximum. And so like the thing is though, if I just like stopped having fun, stop my lifestyle, stop fucking girls, stop having a blast, stop this ridiculous eccentric life, I probably make like triple the money then. Right?
Yeah, but at the same time, are you enjoying your life if you're not? Because there's like that.
Well, because you're telling me, dude, I remember when we met in LA, like you're slang pussy. Like you're like, yeah, I'm being all these girls, it's so much fun. Like I would meet your girls. I'd come hang out with you and your girls. And like these girls are obsessed with you. They're all like down for whatever. All your girls were bi. All your girls were down for like threesomes and orgies. It was fucking crazy to me. He was the first person I ever saw who was doing like the harem game. Like even before David was doing it, Luis was doing his own version of it, which was just like pulling threesomes, pulling foursomes. Like you were doing some crazy shit. And he was doing it in LA where the girls like, it's either the girls are like really ugly crackheads or they're really, really fucking hot. You know what I mean? You get the best of both worlds. Like you get like literal celebrities, where like Luis was banging all these like Instagram influencer chicks and like models and other YouTube girls or whatever. And like, you know, and I'm there, I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? You know? And so like, it was so crazy to see that. But then, so do you think like you stopped getting, or you stopped putting as much attention on dating and getting laid when you started making more money?
I think it worked the other way around. I wanted to start making more money, so then I stopped putting attention into that. But yeah, and then I guess I don't really care about it as much because like it's gonna sound gay, but like it doesn't really fulfill.
You're also a little
my
bit
life.
older than us.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm 34, so it doesn't really like change anything. Like, and I say this, and it's crazy because I was like so opposite before. But if let's just say the hottest girl in the club, I bring her home and I hook up with her, and the next morning she's gone. When I wake up the next morning, I'm still just me. I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna go eat. Go fucking take a shit. Like
No,
life doesn't really change.
No, you're a heightened version of you. Just fuck that baddie, bro. Dude,
Yeah.
you're telling me if you fuck 10 girls right now in a 10th or 11th whatever, that wouldn't be fucking awesome.
Sure, it would be, but like let me continue on that. So let's just say you do that. If you're broke and you're poor and you're not like fulfilling your life like you should be, the next morning when you wake up, you're still poor. You're still broke. You still have nothing going for you. So it doesn't really fulfill your life, is what I'm saying. Like girls don't really have that effect to fulfill me at my core. And at my core, what really makes me happy is accomplishing goals. So like having targets, having things that I'm trying to chase. You know, I told you guys I'm gonna start my podcast. My goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers in 90 days because I've done it with 2 different channels already. So it's like those are just things that people don't think can be done. And I just have a very aggressive approach about it and an obsessed mentality. And when I get it, that fulfills me at my core. Then if you go out and hook up with that hot girl, that's in addition to what I'm doing in
So
life.
it's just the cherry on top.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But at my core, it's just like, I'm just there. I'm just, whether this happens or not, I don't really care.
Yeah, so me and Matt were on the yacht the other day, on our buddy's yacht, okay? And I was talking about this because this dude, he makes a lot of money, very successful, like drives a Lambo, like really successful guy. And he gets a lot of girls too. And we were talking about this, and I was just like really curious, like especially like seeing older guys who are successful financially, who also get a lot of girls. I'm always curious to pick their brain to see like the balance, because like I think me and Matt like get more girls and hotter girls than most guys I've ever met, straight up.
100%.
But the thing is, we don't make as much money as, you know, some fucking 45-year-old dude who's been running a business for 15 to 20 years, who and his company's worth like $500 million. Right. And so we might get more girls, but they make more money. I'm always curious, like the balance. How does the balance work? Right. And I was asking him, and he's like, well, really what you're doing is you're just feeling like just incrementally more pleasure. But dude, I'm thinking, I'm like, instead of, because I've never had a fivesome with 4 girls, but I've had multiple foursomes with 3 girls. You know, like you remember Halloween at the foursome? And then I tried to get Matt in it. I had 3 girls in my room, and I'm like, Matt, come join. And he just like couldn't, because he's like, dude, like this is weird. Like, I'm not into this. There's too many people.
I'm not big into orgies.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not either at
I
all.
retired.
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm talking about
not
me
big
with
into
4
it.
girls, and I'm like, Matt, take one of them. I actually only wanted one of them, but I was like, I have to like fuck 3 girls to get to the one I want, because she wouldn't fuck me alone. It was really weird. Like she was really hot. She's like one of the Toronto Sugar Baby girls.
I think I remember she was pretty hot.
Yeah, and like and it turns out, so she came to my place because a girl brought her to my place, and turns out I'd actually matched her on Tinder, and I was already messaging her on Instagram, but then I stopped messaging her. So I was like, okay, I want to fuck this girl, and so I had to like bang 2 other girls to get to her. You know what I mean? And so But so it's fun.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. God damn. But the thing is, like after that foursome, I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. I want to have a fucking fivesome. But I had a foursome before. I think I had a couple foursomes before. But after that, dude, I've been having threesomes, foursomes every weekend for the last few months because I've been slowly studying David Bond's harem game method and slowly implementing it into like the nightclub promoter stuff I'm doing, you know, in a very like respectful win-win way with the girls that I see. And they all love it. And so I'm like, okay, well, foursome was awesome because I had a foursome last Saturday, 3 girls, and one of them was a virgin. I took her virginity in a foursome, and I'm like, you know. So you're telling me you wouldn't love having a fivesome or a sixsome or sevensome or like you know like you're telling me that doesn't make you feel like more of the shit?
Oh,
because dude, I literally wake up the next day and I'm just like I feel like I'm the shit. I can conquer anything, dude. After having like 5 girls. There was a day where I just took up with one girl. But I woke up and there's 5 girls in my living room doing their makeup. We're all going to brunch. And so I jumped on a prospective client call, closed like an $11,000 deal in like 8 minutes or something like that, right? Because I was just thinking like, I'm the shit. This is fucking awesome. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm like using girls to validate my self-esteem or something, but like,
Or maybe
it's
just
fucking
like
awesome.
orgies.
Yeah, I don't know. It gets me hyped up. It gets me in a good mood.
That's the difference between me and Justin. I like cute dates. I get bored. I feel like every time I go on a date.
like it feels empty if I just have sex with a girl. Like if I can't sit across the table and enjoy a conversation with a girl, then I'm just like, what am I doing?
See, I love that shit.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
I'm just like, why am I wasting? I just literally put my dick in a hole and then
Yeah,
you
100%.
came and you left. And it's like I just imagine my ancestors looking down on me.
I mean, you know, Justin. There's
looking like some
there's a lot of girls I hang out with on a regular basis that I don't have sex with.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't care. You know.
Yeah, like in Toronto, you're like, oh, these girls want to fuck you. I'm like, it's like it's gonna be empty. I already know. And then why? Like, why am I gonna do that? You know, it's just.
See, for me, I'm the opposite. I like having the girls in my vicinity. I don't want them to talk to me. I don't want them to hang on my table. But they talk to me, I'm like, shh, shh. I'm enjoying my moment. I'm like meditating in the club. Like meditating at my table, just observing all the pretty women dancing and frolicking around like little puppies, right? And I want to take them back home. I want to buy them pizza, have fun, like hook up, and then like I bust a nut. So in the middle of the foursome on Saturday, I literally stopped midway and I start texting more girls to come over. I'm like I texted Amber, I texted Holly. I probably do have fucking problems. I'm like,
you were
like,
up,
come join.
mental
You were,
issues.
we went to bed early last night. You were up till 6 a.m. still texting girls. Bro,
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I was imitating you on the way back from the gym, and that's what I'm laughing about right now.
It's so funny. Me and Louise woke up at like 10 a.m. and I
at
knocked on your
2.
door. Yo, bro, we're going to the gym. And you're like, bro, I had 2 hours. I had 2 hours of sleep. I've been texting girls all night.
Maybe I'm just fucked up. I don't know.
You truly are one of a kind, dude.
Might just
Yeah.
be sex addiction. No, but so that's what I want to know. Like, how do you balance this, dude? Like, and like, because I know Matt doesn't balance this. I balance it okay. 'Cause, bro, when Matt's like fucking girls, dude, Matt literally has like 5 actual girlfriends. Like, he had 5 actual girlfriends and then like 12, 13 girls he was seeing in Toronto. And he like recently cut it down because he wanted to like get more into work mode. Because like, he wasn't doing anything, dude. We weren't getting podcasts out. He wasn't making money. I'm like, what are you doing?
It was insane. Like you saw, I don't know if I talked about this in my last podcast, but I have a very like intricate like to-do list where I like schedule dates with like girls all throughout the week. And I was doing it at the time and my schedule fully booked. Like fucking
You have no time to like
I
do work,
literally have
just hang out with girls.
Yeah, I would have like a FaceTime day where I would like FaceTime for like 8 hours. And I would FaceTime like
That's fucked.
5 girls. And then it's so funny because Justin called me one time and I was like, it was during that day and you were like, and I was explaining, you know, what was up with like all the girls I'm seeing. And it's like, bro, you're so fucked up. You just mentioned like 5 girls in like 1 minute.
He was like just like venting to me about all his girls. Like, this girl's mad at me and that happened. And like my ex-girlfriend like just paid my rent. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you? But I'm like, but the thing is, there's no work-life balance. It's like, but you're like not making any money. His bank account's like going to shit.
No, it's not.
You know, it's like,
That's the old me.
what the fuck, bro? Right? So I'm very curious like how you balance it because I know you're making like great money through social media, through businesses that you're running. You got the Airbnb thing you had running. You have like multiple streams of income from multiple YouTube channels. You have like so many different ways you make money, investments, etc. Like you're very, very successful. You're what, like to me, Luis is like the ultimate man in terms of what a guy should strive for. I don't want to mention names, but do you remember there was a guy who wanted to collab with you?
Yeah. Wait,
And-
the one in Africa or where?
No. There was a YouTuber, big audience. and he messaged me because I'm acquainted with him. He's like, we're cool, right? And he's like, yo, can you get To Catch a Cheater to do collab with me? And I sent you his Instagram, and you're like, tell this guy who looks like a scumbag, and like, he can fuck off. And you're like, send him a screenshot. So and this is a huge YouTuber that like all of you guys know. And so I fucking sent him a screenshot, and he's like, what the fuck? Fuck this guy. And Luis is like, why is he mad? Is he mad because I'm rich as fuck? I make more money than him? I get more bitches than him? Or that I can kick his ass and I surpass him in every metric possible?
In every metric of life, I haven't beat. I'm like, tell him to shut his mouth.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's true, dude.
Screenshot this to him again.
Wait, is it the ones that you're posting in your story? It's like,
No.
It's a. I won't say the name out loud.
I'm going to say the name. It's a huge YouTuber who in the pickup industry.
Yeah.
It's over 100,000 followers. Really cool guy. I like him. But Luis just looked at his Instagram and he's like, fuck this guy. I don't like how he looks. I don't like his face. And you should tell him to fuck off. Like, it's rich the vibe. I'm like, Luis, calm down, bro. It's like, it's funny, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro. But Luis is laughing his ass off. The other dude's like, what the fuck did I ever do to this guy?
He did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong, dude. Luis just thinks the guy looks like a fucking scumbag.
The thing, I don't actually like a lot of the guys in the pickup community. Like, I do think a lot of them are like scummy. You know
Yeah, no, it's true.
Oh, 100%.
You were saying, and I understand why you'd perceive him to be that way, but it's true. What Luis is saying is like, Luis is jacked as fuck, dude. You trained martial arts with like Andy Ruiz, right? And like,
No, not with him.
Oh, you
Like,
didn't?
he's a buddy of mine.
And well, your buddy Kit, jiu-jitsu and stuff
Kid
like
was
that.
jiu-jitsu world champ,
And
two-time
then,
world champion.
yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. And then like that'd be like training like boxing with Andrew Tate, but he trained jiu-jitsu with Kate Dale. It's fucking crazy. Like you make fuck tons of money. You're friends with little celebrities. You're friends with like rappers, and like you live in fucking LA. You have sick cars. Like you got the jewelry, you got the chains. Like, you got it all. And you're jacked, and you got game, and you got personality. Like he's what every guy should strive to be. And so
100%.
it's crazy to me that like what is that philosophy that got you there?
It's a combination of things, man. But I mean, like, I'm 34, so I'm pretty well put together at this point. Like, that's why guys' value really does increase as you get older, because you're working on yourself.
So when you were younger, were you not this put together?
No, man, I was pretty. I mean, I don't know why. I was thinking about this because someone. I see random messages that you don't accept on Instagram.
Yeah.
And one was like, "Why are you so cocky? Why do you think you're this shit?" And it's like, well, like, because they mentioned something about YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I'm a YouTuber, they think I'm this shit. And it's like, no, dude, I thought I was the shit since I was young. Like, I've always thought I was the shit. Like, I'm delusional.
So it's a
but
mindset.
I've always felt that I was just special. And like, now that I'm older, I still have that philosophy, but I also accept the fact that I'm not special. I'm just another human on this planet. But at the same time, I believe I'm special, or I'm unique for just my abilities to get things done. But it's been like a process of just working on yourself. And I think that a few things that shaped me would be getting into sports, as opposed to like all my friends getting into gangs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think sports saved me from going down that path. And then,
Well, can you share more about that story? 'Cause you shared it with me before, and it's some deep shit.
yeah. So I got into boxing first.
What about your friends gang and gangs?
Yeah, I'll get into that. So I got into boxing first because that's more of a fighting thing, right? And like all my friends, like a lot of them died, man. So it's just like, I can name them off, but I had a few of them die right after high school. They were a little older than me, so I always hung out with older people for some reason. But they passed away. A lot of them ended up in jail. One of them was in prison for murder. One of them went to prison and died there. And one of them was in jail in Mexico. I'd see some of them, like their sisters getting jumped by dudes. I'd hear about this stuff because they're trying to get to the brother who's in jail. And I'm just like, what a fucked up life this is,
And these were like your closest friends, right? Growing up with?
They're all my close friends.
In
I got
high
to see
school?
them. So yeah, like just right after graduation, right? My closest friends were like Ricardo and Johnny. Ricardo got big into meth, got a girl pregnant. His life went to shit. Johnny, same thing, was going down that path of doing meth. Luckily, that guy met a girl, and I do believe in some cases girls save guys because she saved his ass. And they moved out, they moved away, they have a family now, they're really happy. But Mauricio joined the military to avoid getting out of the gang life. But John Rocha went to prison for selling coke and a Grand Theft Auto. Jonathan Ramirez went to, maybe I won't say their last names. Jonathan went to prison for murder. Another guy named Smiley died. He got killed. Luis Ojeda died. He got shot in the head, became a vegetable. He was still alive. And then they pulled the plug. Fernando went to prison for I don't even remember what. And in prison, he died. I'm trying to think who else was part of that group. Johnny's older brother, Alex, is still in jail in Mexico. He went down the drugs and all that stuff. They all went to shit. And I was just witnessing all that. And because they're older than me, I just thought, if I go down this path, this is where I'm going to end up. So then luckily, my junior year of high school, it all started because my buddy Nolan We wrestled in the weight room in front of everybody. Like we were kind of not in a fight, but kind of testing each other's male testosterone type shit. And he fucking threw me on the ground. I was so embarrassed because he was smaller than me. And I've never felt manhandled by another guy before. And I was boxing at the time. So I thought I was the shit. And then when he did that, I thought, oh my God, it was embarrassing. I stood up and everyone's laughing. And I'm like, But like inside I was like shaking because I've never had another man do that to me. So I joined the wrestling team. And then that was just one of the hardest sports. It's like to this day, it's the hardest sport you can do is wrestling. So I did that my junior and senior year, and that really saved me and then shaped my mentality. Because I just figured, man, if I can do this, I can do anything. Then I continued wrestling in college. And again, it just continued to shape my work ethic and my mentality. Then from college, I never wanted to get a job, so I got into sales. I did 5 years of direct sales, working with 3 different companies. And that's when I started learning about like communication skills and people, because I used to dress like a cholo. Like I used to think I was like a little tough guy. Shaved head, sagging my pants, and trying to do these sales meetings. And I'm like, these white people, they're acting all racist towards me. It's like, no, dude. It's like, look at the way you dress and look at the way you carry yourself. Of course they're going to make a judgment, because I used to be like, oh, they shouldn't judge. It's like, dude, everyone judges. Everybody it's normal. It's human. Mm-hmm. When I meet a person, I'm making an assessment about this person as to whether there's somebody I want to communicate with or not, or if they add value or don't. You know, you're making a judgment call based on those, you know, interacting with somebody. So then I started slowly but surely changing the way I dress, the way I act, the way I behave myself. And then it was weird because I'd go hang out with my older friends and I just had nothing in common with them anymore. And I'm just like, okay, this is the new life. Actually, you know what saved me? Is pussy. Because I was thinking about it. I remember at that age, I'm like, oh man, they're going to jail and all this stuff. And my other friends that are going to college is like, dude, they're dating all these hot girls in college and having fun. And I'm like, what do I want? I'm like, I'd rather be with the girls. So that was another thing.
So I mean, we could both say pussy saved us, dude, for sure.
100%. Like it literally changed. But I want to hear more about your experience.
All right. But then, so when I got into sales, that just drastically changed me. And because like, if wrestling developed my mentality as far as like to continue to push past pain and just continue to do that over and 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 over again, like that just really shaped me. Then sales, it was tougher because it's like your mental gymnastics or something. It's like understanding humans. Like you learn to not take anything personal. So I've had clients I'm sitting with and I'm doing a presentation and they have their own issues and they're just like, I think you're a piece of shit. Random, like, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Anyways, so going back to what I was explaining, you know, and I started keep going my PowerPoint. Like I do not care. I became immune to other people's opinions about me, what they think. I learned so much about cutting through BS about stuff and looking at numbers and math and then just everything, man. Like I can't even begin to describe how much body language I learned from that, because I was having between like 5 to 9 meetings a day, sit downs and doing sales and presentations. And I'm learning so much about just seeing people as I'm talking. And they're like, oh, that's really interesting. Tell me more. And then I'd also learned that, well, when they crossed their arms, when I asked them that question, that they shut their brain off, but they're obviously saying, oh, no, keep telling me more. This is really interesting. And then I learned to, you know, little tactics say, you know what, here, check out this product, and I hand it to them, which forces them to have to open up to grab it. And I know the brain has a 2 times as high retention rate when they're not crossed. This is why business chairs have armrests and all these things, because they're trying to keep these people open. So it's like all these little nuances I would learn, and like I took it to steroids basically, because not only did I learn it, but I started teaching it. Then I started running classes for all the people that were doing sales, teaching them about body language, which, you know, when you learn game and then you start teaching game, it forces you to relearn it again, even you pick up on little nuances because you're now teaching it.
If you want to master something, you should teach it. That's why I started teaching pickup in the first place.
So then at 25, the entire time I was in a relationship from about 6.5 years. So from right around 18 to 25. So when we finally split, it was a really toxic thing. But when we finally split at 25, I just felt free. I had all this information and knowledge and skills I had acquired. But I'm like, what do I want to do with my life? Like, what did I want to do as a kid? And I wanted to be an actor. I liked making people laugh. So then I moved out to LA.
So you just like dropped everything, moved to LA.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that literally was a pivotal moment in my life.
Insane. You just like literally fucking left your life behind. You're like, fuck this. Move to the big city. Let's do it.
Yeah. I was renting a house. We had a dog. I was in a relationship, all that, friends, everything. I just cut everything off. Got in my car, drove to LA. I moved into this guy's 1-bedroom apartment. I rented the little corner of his living room, right? Like a small section. I had a mattress and a little dresser. I'm 25. I'm in debt. I maxed out. There's no more room left on my credit cards. I had no way of making income, and I said, I'll figure it out. And not only I was so confident that I moved out there with no money, and the next day I went and joined a gym and signed up to knowing I had to pay that. And I was like, I'll figure it out. Signed up for acting classes, $360 a month, paid for headshots, $500 for the first thing, $150, $170 to get them printed. I said, you know what, fuck it. Like, there's nothing I can't do. And then I started a gift card business, which was random. And then in 6 months, I was able to get myself completely out of debt. And then when that happened, I cut my credit card. I said, I'm never going to be fucking debt again.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you started a gift card business in LA at 25.
Yeah.
Pop that off.
Buying and selling gift cards. That still to this day was one of the easiest businesses I've ever done.
Can you explain it?
But basically I was advertising on Craigslist. I'm buying unwanted gift cards. So somebody had like a $300 gift card to Victoria's Secret. I'd say, I'll buy it for you for $180. And it was so easy. The reason why is because there's actual websites that buy your gift cards online, and they show you the percentage that they'll buy it off of you for. So there's a company, it's a company called Plastic Jungle, which I read from the book The Game. There's some guy on there in the book The Game that talked about it, and now it's called Gift Card Granny. But it was called Plastic Jungle at the time. Now it's a company called Gift Card Granny, and I found his website. So let's just say you go on his website to buy gift cards at a discount. So let's just say you want to buy a $1,000 TV from Walmart. You can go buy a gift card from him for $1,000, valued at $1,000 gift card. He'll sell to you for $940. So people will save $60. And it's crazy the lengths people go through to save pennies and shit. So I say, okay, so he's selling gift cards for Walmart for 94%. So I'll buy them for 75%, make 19% profit. So on a $1,000 deal, I'll make $190. And it's quick. So I'd had this whole setup where I lived. There's like a gas station. I lived in Hollywood, Hollywood is centered to like LA. So if someone's like in North Hollywood or something, I'd say, oh, you know what? Why don't we meet somewhere in the middle? Somewhere the halfway point between Santa Monica and North Hollywood is there's Hollywood. There's a gas station on the corner of Vine and Santa Monica. Why don't we meet there? And if they're like in Torrance, I'd say, oh, you know what? Pff, man, all the way from Torrance, huh? Well, you know what? I'm up here in Burbank, so why don't we meet somewhere in the middle? They're right here in Hollywood. And then I'd always get there, and I'd even lowball them more sometimes because they drove all that way. It's hard for them to back out. I got them so committed. But again, it was more sales skills. I got right up to $6,000 a month in like just cash, and it was just a real simple business. I was working about 4 hours a week.
That's insane.
But all good things came to an end. Eventually, these companies smartened up, and they created kiosks. Like they have kiosks that collect coins or inside the stores, and you can get dollars for them. Those kiosks now buy unwanted gift cards, and they're buying them for the value that Gift Card Granny's doing it. So it basically put me out of business, which is fine. Then I started an Airbnb business with my buddy David, and I was acting this whole time. And then at 28, by happy accident, I created a YouTube video for To Catch a Cheater before we even had To Catch a Cheater. And my very first ever YouTube video did 12 million views.
Crazy.
Very first one.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. So then I did another video, like some Tinder prank thing, because I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, well, what am I, like a prankster now or something?
So when you made that video, did you have like a camera guys, or did you just do it on your own?
Me and I told my friend about this idea I had, and he goes, oh, that'd actually be a good idea. And he goes, you know what? Why don't I film it? I'll edit it even. I said, all right, great. So we did it together as like a partnership. We made that first video, 12 million views. I made another video about some like Tinder prank thing, 22,000 views. I'm like, huh. So then we made another video of like To Catch a Cheater before even we didn't have the channel yet. That video did 2 million in 2 weeks. So I'm like, well, dude, it seems like people like this. Why don't we just keep creating content like this, and we'll just make it like the same thing. When you go to McDonald's, they have the same menu at every McDonald's. So when you land on makeup pages, you're seeing makeup. You land on fitness channels, you're seeing fitness. So why don't we create a channel about just catching cheaters? We'll call it Catching Cheaters or To Catch a Cheater, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to catch a cheater. So then we created the channel. We actually sold those videos, made some money, and then we downloaded and re-uploaded them again on our new page, and they still got millions of views again. And then the channel just took off. 1 million subscribers in like a little over 11 months, and we're at 3.2 million now. But like,
so Luis, when it comes to these videos, like, do you think you have a natural gift of finding things that would go viral?
Yeah, it seems that way because I try explaining it to people, and I'm like, think about it. What would make sense? What would you click on? And it's like, I don't know if they're just not thinking hard enough, because I personally think if someone put a gun to your head and said, make a viral video, I'm going to fucking kill you, you would think like with an obsessive mind, how can I make this video viral?
Because we did have a conversation with Luis about that, and you were telling us how for weeks you just be thinking about how to make your channel go viral.
Yeah.
Like nonstop all day while you're going to work, going to the gym. That's all that's on your mind.
It's always on my mind.
Almost like this obsessive.
100%. And I wrote that on my
desire to do
windows.
that.
I wrote that on my mirrors and everything, especially for my new channel, that it's not talent, it's an obsessive mind, right?
Yeah.
And Vincent Van Gogh had this thing that he's like, I lost my mind in this game, you know? I don't like know the exact quote, but Conor McGregor re-quoted it, which is kind of what brought it to light. And he's like, and that's me. I feel like I've lost my mind to this game, to my craft. And until, you know, my girl has a car for every day of the week, until my mom has a home, my family and all this stuff, he's like, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be glad I did it. But it takes like this obsessive mind. It's not talent. You know, it's not experience. I didn't have that. It's just, I was obsessed with trying to figure out how to make this happen. So when, and then people thought I was a one-hit wonder. I'm like this fluke. So when I started my new channel, I thought, man, it's hard making kids content to go viral. And same thing, 90 days, 100,000 subscribers. And this one took me 13 months, or a little over 13 months to hit 1 million subscribers on this one as well.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I almost feel like everything you've done has brought you to the next stage though, because it's like that relationship, the emotional leverage you had from that, you know, brought you, because you told me a lot of the backstory of that relationship, but I remember how fucked up and toxic it was. That brought you to the next level, which is like go to LA, pick up girls, get pussy, have fun, or like seeing your friends get like killed and murdered or kill other people or fucking go to jail or drugs or whatever it is, right? That pushed you to like go do something else with your life and sports and this and that, and everything brought you to a different level. 100%. And then it led you to sales, and everything learned from sales brought you to body language, and the body language stuff brought you to, you know, picking up girls, and you use those skills to create YouTube content and the acting skills as well, right?
100%.
And so, you know, it's crazy how like everything you did brought you next level because you were just taking so much fucking action towards whatever it is, whatever you want to do, whatever you're passionate about. You just did it fully.
Yeah, 100%. And I think acting got me out of my mind.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Acting.
Yeah. By the way, the Wingman podcast wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Luis.
Yeah, Luis was actually the one. I remember the day it was your birthday weekend in Toronto. You came and you're like, yo, you guys should start a fucking podcast. I'm sitting there on the couch with Matt. I'm like, that's a great idea.
Didn't Luis name it? Luis named it?
No, we named it. I was like, what would we call it? When we were like thinking different names, I'm like, that's a stupid name. I was like, Matt, you're my first wingman. Let's just call it the Wingman podcast.
Yeah.
I like it, bro. I like the
Luis
name,
is like,
the setup,
I
everything.
love that.
Yeah. And then, within a few weeks, we bought all the equipment and we just fucking started, you know, and here we are.
Yeah. I remember telling Matt, because it was like 4 a.m, like everyone was kind of leaving and stuff. And then I started showing Matt my channels, and then he's like, oh, I think I have seen this. And then we started like laughing about some stuff. And then I was showing him like the back office, just showing him like, look, dude, this is YouTube. This is what you guys can do. And like, bro, I started from zero. Here's my first month, I made $133. So like, I'm just like any normal person, bro.
Made
Like,
like no money the first month. And then like within a few months, you're like rich as fuck.
$133 my first month. That was my first day. I was able to collect ad revenue. I made 50 cents. I'd made 9 videos at that point just to get to that point where I can collect 50 cents.
That's
you know
insane.
what I mean? But I knew, because I've already done it once before, I knew this is the process. So like
So you trust in the process.
Yeah, that, and then like, it's kind of like your confidence is really going to dictate how hard you work. Because if you don't really have that belief in what you're doing, it's hard to see the end to this pain that you might be going through, because it's tough. It's not easy. Mm-hmm. But it's like if someone told you they had a safety deposit box in New York for $15 million in it, and it's all yours, you can have it, and you're in California, and they give you the key and say all you have to do is go down there and collect it, but you have to walk, right? You're like, oh fuck yeah, all right, let's do this. So you start walking your journey, and as you're walking, someone comes up to you like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm heading to this safety deposit box this guy left me. There's $15 million in it, he's gonna give it to me. And they're like laughing at you, like, and you believe this guy? Like, well, yeah, of course. I mean, he's my friend. What do you mean? He's like, you're an idiot. And they start like, and you're like, whatever. And you keep walking, but now you're getting more tired, and then someone else comes and they start laughing at you and telling you, you're an idiot, dude. You're not even one state over, and you think you're gonna have 15 million. And this continues on. Since you haven't seen it, you don't have that same belief, and you're gonna start doubting what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But the difference would be is if I flew you to New York, I showed you the safety deposit box with $15 million. We closed it right there, and then I pulled it out and I handed you the key, and you have the only copy to that key, and it goes in your pocket. I fly you back to LA, and then I give you the same thing. You have to walk. Then when you're walking on your journey, you could give a fuck less what anyone else thinks or what anyone else says, because you know that it's there. So my mentality with YouTube is kind of the same. It's like, I know what YouTube can do, and I know I may get it wrong a few times, but overall I'm headed in that direction. So if you don't have a map of how to walk to New York, you just know head east. Like you'll figure it out as you go.
I think this is also why it's important to have friends that are on the same kind of like journey,
Yeah.
For sure.
and especially if they're ahead of ours,
Of course.
you know.
Well, look at you, man. Your friends were all like fucking killing each other or themselves or others and like getting in trouble, legal issues, whatever the fuck it was, right? And you're
the
like,
same-
you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? So the most, right? So if you spend time with 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the next millionaire. If you spend time with a bunch of criminals, you're gonna become a fucking criminal. It's just inevitable, right?
And then there's 2 other philosophies I think I've always used. Is it a rocket on the way to outer space or whatever? A rocket on the way to the moon, it burns 90% of it fuel. It burns getting out of the atmosphere. 90% of it. So that means you're going to, in efforts of building a business, you have to look at it the same way. You're basically going to give it almost everything you have just to get it off the fucking ground, right? And then the other one is a rocket on the way to the moon is off course 99% of the time. So it is constantly making small adjustments here and there. And that one little tweak can take it off course 100,000 miles by the time it gets to the moon. So it's headed in that vicinity and it's constantly shifting. They're constantly pushing, in directions to keep it going en route. So the point is you're headed in that direction. You'll make adjustments as you go. You're going to be off course, but you're headed in that general vicinity. And that's kind of like the philosophy I've had with business and all that.
It's awesome, man.
Dropping
Fucking
some
crazy.
dropping some gold.
This is super inspirational, man. And like I've heard Luis's story many times over the last, many years I've known Luis. But most people haven't. So I'm so glad we have it here, dude. It's fucking crazy. But man, that was fucking awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. Now, what's your dating life look like these days?
Stale, dude.
It's been stale. Well, dude, when I first met you, you're fucking killing the game, dude. I saw the girls you're pulling, fucking crazy. So, what advice would you give out to guys who want to have a balance of girls and eccentric dating life?
A balance of girls and an eccentric dating life. I mean, number one, you just got to do it. You got to go out there and start. I would recommend doing a boot camp if you want to fast forward that process, just way faster and select someone good, So that can be tougher, easier said than done, I guess. But then understand that it's not an overnight process. So just like any business, like in reality, it probably is going to take you about a decade to become fucking solid, right?
It's true.
I mean, Justin and I, yeah.
It literally took me and Matt both 10 years to get to
this
where I'm
level.
at.
It doesn't mean you're not seeing girls along the way. It just means to get to that level, that's about 10 years of work, right? So if you start off, if you're some young kid, 16 through 23, I would say, and you're new, it's just understand, like, look, dude, as a guy, you have all the time in the world. And then don't put so much pressure to think that one moment's going to change anything, because it's kind of like if you've ever had to run in class or school, you've had to run a fucking marathon or you have to run 3 miles for school and you're running. If you've ever caught yourself when you're just like running and you're almost in this zone of just continuing to run, and it just seems like the hardest fucking thing ever, but the moment you finish, it's done.
Yeah.
It's over. And
And
all that pain is gone.
And I want to share like kind of like a mindset that I've had all throughout kind of like trying to get good with girls is I don't expect results until 6 months from now. So when I was like new, obviously I would go out, fail multiple times, girls not liking me, but I would still trust the process, put in the work, go out, push myself in social environments, and I won't expect anything until 6 months from now.
Dude, I have that mindset now.
And then
Now.
I would get to that 6 month moment and I would look back and my life's completely different.
No, but the things I still have that mindset now. Whereas, like, if I want to implement something new into my life, like for example, let's say you're going through a breakup. I'm thinking 6 months from now, this won't matter as long as I do these right actions. Or if I want to build like a harem of bitches, like I've been doing over the last
that's with
few
everything.
months, I'm thinking 6 months from now, that will be done as long as I take the right actions.
Probably results
now.
in like gym as well, like health.
And I think that's a better answer, actually, what you said is expectations, because I think one of the reasons people quit is because their expectations were sold to them wrong in the first place. So they're thinking, but it makes sense. From a marketing point of view, if I want to teach someone how to lose weight, the real answer is going to be like, look, dude, it's a lifestyle change. It's going to take you about 6 months to a year to really get to this body that you want. And that's with committed effort into the gym, diet, all this stuff, right? But if I want to sell a book, wouldn't it make better sense to say how to lose 20 pounds in 5 days? I'm picking up that one because they want no effort. They want the least path of resistance, right? So they're being sold this from smart marketers who are selling them on this lie. So it's important to have expectations, like you said. It's like, look, dude, you can do a boot camp and drop $3,000 getting coached, and you can the next week you're still gonna suck.
You've tagged along my boot camps. And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That shit's
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Love it.
They're still gonna suck, but they will have the direction.
Yeah,
they
they're
will
starting
have
off-
the map in order to get to where they want to be in
Boys,
6
the
months.
girls are here.
That's fine.
I've got a
But
threesome.
then but then the expectation that you said, like, look, in 6 months, like if you keep at this, in 6 months from now, you're gonna be really fucking good. But if you have that expectation, that way you don't worry about the little minuscule things that are happening today, because what you're looking at is what's gonna happen, whatever gonna be in 6 months from now. So like that's like a really solid advice actually for young kids. Is the expectations, set them right. So that way you understand that you're not set up for failure. Because if you think, oh, you're going to have results next week and you start failing, you're going to think, shit,
It's just like the concept of patience, man.
yeah.
You know, same with the podcast and everything. I don't expect anything that will come out of it for like probably 1-2 years.
Are you guys monetized yet or no?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 'cause
Justin handles like the YouTube.
It would take like, if you don't get it done in 1 month, because they go month to month, that means it's going to take minimum 2 months. So even if it took you a month and 1 day, it's still going to take like, oh, fuck.
But the same principle of like patience and just put in the work slowly.
Right.
In the long period of time and not expecting any results, just focus on the work. Same with the gym. You know, I don't expect to like lose like 30 pounds in the next like month or two. But I just focus on the daily actions that will get me there.
Yeah. So consistency, there's a compound effect. And here's another philosophy that I've like served me really well is compounded interest, right? So a lot of people, they get asked this question, like, Matt, I'll ask you now. I don't know if you've heard this example, but would you rather have $1 million cash or a penny doubled every day for the next 30 days? Meaning on day 1, you have a penny. On day 2, you have 2 pennies. On day 3, you have 4 pennies. Day 4, you have 8 pennies. Which one would you rather have? Quick.
I have to calculate the
Quick.
compound. I don't know.
What do you think?
Well, it depends. I would have to do math.
So
But
most
because you're talking about the compound thing, probably the compound.
All right. So most people would choose the $1 million, but I'm gonna pull up the graph here. So on day 1, you're at a penny. Day 2, you're at 2 pennies. On day 15, you're only at $163. You're halfway in the month. By day 20, you're barely at $20,000. On day 25, $167,000. By the time you get to day 28, you're at $1.342 million. Day 29, $2.684 million. Day 30 at $5.368 million. But a lot of people don't think about it, right? So when you look at it that way, what's up, brother? Can we finish it off or what?
Yeah, let's finish it off. Let's finish it
All
off.
right. So that's the compounded
What's up,
effect,
boys?
right? So it's inevitable if you consistently do something every single day, consistently, a
You guys
period
wanna
over
come say hi?
time.
Ven. So hola.
Justin's
Ponte
girlfriend's
patal.
arrived.
I met these 2 gorgeous girls at the club last night, and they're both beautiful. And I'm like, hey, girls, come hang out. And I just Ubered them over. The Ubers are like $1 here in Colombia, and they're here.
Baller,
on the
huh?
podcast.
Big baller, Justin.
making a lot of YouTube money, bro.
But
Hola, bien bonitas.
so with game, bro, if you consistently go out, compound it every single day over time, with losing weight, with making money,
Yeah.
anything is just consistently
becomes
doing
effortless.
something.
Dude, I went out over 1,000 days in a row with picking up girls. I did cold
like
approach
3
every
years.
single day for over. Honestly, I got to probably around 1,500 days, and then COVID happened. And even during COVID, I was trying to go out. Like I would do like little cold approaches in Mexico. But then when I came back to Toronto, the COVID lockdowns were like
Yeah.
Nazi Germany, bro. It was like fucking like just no one out in the street, and I would try. So I'd do like Tinder and stuff. But then like at
a
some
long
point I
time.
lost one. But like, dude, I literally pretty much has done like some sort of form of a game or picking up girls, talking to girls online or in person every day for the last like 10 years almost.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. Like probably not missing one fucking day. Even though I'm like dying, even though I have a girlfriend. And that's like why I've gotten where I'm at.
Justin's obsessed, bro. He's
Like even in
he's
the
nuts,
last,
dude.
in the last 30 days, I was thinking about last night.
But that's what it takes, you know.
Dude, in the last 30 days, I can't remember how many girls I hooked up with, like 15, 20. I don't know. Right? And the thing is, it's because I've just been going out every single fucking day. Because I started a new 30-day challenge of specifically doing day game, going out to pick up girls during the day every day for the last 30 days. Anyway, guys, I got to go. I don't have much time. These girls have to go home
that
soon.
right?
Let's
Any
wrap it up.
gators?
Let's wrap it up. Wait, let's wrap it up.
Let's close it off, Justin.
Justin, let's close it off. Close it off. You can have your threesome later.
You want to close it off?
All right, I'll close it off. Thank you for listening. Justin's a better closer. Justin, close it off.
All right, let me just start it off. Shout out to the Wingman Podcast for having me out. I
Yo,
love hanging
shouts
out with
to
these
Luis,
guys.
man.
We're out
Yo,
here in Colombia right now, and
Where can these guys find you on Instagram?
Real Luis Mercado on Instagram.
Okay. And then Life Lessons Luis.
Just go to my Instagram. You can find everything from there.
Cool. Real Luis Mercado.
Yep.
Cool, man. And we'll link it down in the description as well. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all platforms. We'll see you soon.